Thank you, Jerry. Great to be with y'all today, and especially great to be here 1-0. Very proud of our football team for their efforts last week. I thought there were several things that really stood out in the ball game. One was the lack of mental mistakes in an early season ball game. That was very impressive. Probably the fewest mental mistakes that we've had in a long time in an early season ball game, and that's a tribute to the job that our coaches have done in preparing our young men, and then definitely the focus and the efforts of our athletes to prepare themselves to be very successful in our opening ball game. So I was real pleased with that. The second thing was the passion in which we played with. We played extremely hard throughout the ball game and in every phase of the game, and I was really pleased to see that effort. We've been trying very hard over the last several recruiting classes to increase the speed of our football team. And we've been able to address that in recruiting, and now I think it's paying off because we have some guys that have experience, that know where they're going, and they're doing that with the speed that they have through their ability, and it's paying off big for our football team. Offensively, we played very well. I was extremely pleased with the way we played offensively. You take away the 2 turnovers that we had offensively down in the red zone, and we played extremely well. We had some of the highest grades that we've had, highest unit grades and highest individual grades that we've had in a long time. I was real pleased with that. Thought both of our quarterbacks played well. They both came in and did some good things throwing the football. They were going through the correct reads and throwing to the correct receivers and backs out of the backfield, making sure that that is the priority. They missed a couple of throws, but at least they were throwing to the right people. Very pleased with the job that they did at the line of scrimmage. We had several plays that were called that we had to get out of and get into a good play, and they were able to do that with proficiency at the line of scrimmage. Our offensive line played well. We gave up a couple of sacks, but they were very solid in the run game. Army did a lot of movement up front, and we were able to handle that movement very well. Tight end David Johnson had a very impressive start for his first ball game to start at that position. Thought our wide receivers played well. Probably had their best blocking night that we've had in a long time at wide receiver. And then, of course, in the backfield, everybody is focused in on Reginald Arnold and the job that he was able to do last week. He had 25 carries for 140 yards, didn't turn the ball over, ran the football very tough. He's like trying to tackle a bowling ball. Very strong, low to the ground, did a heck of a job for us running the football. But back in the backfield with him, Orrin O'Neill had some absolutely devastating blocks, and many of y'all get an opportunity to hang around and see some of those. Just depleted several folks Saturday night, so I was pleased with that. Defensively, played very well. We have not allowed a touchdown in Indian Stadium now for 3 consecutive games. Very pleased with the efforts of our defense holding Army, a team that ran the football for 300 yards against us last year, to under 70 yards rushing this year, and 164 total yards was the lowest total in 20 years. And I was real pleased with the way we played. We played fast, we played physical. We did not give up the big play. Very pleased with the way we played defensively, and they were huge in this ball game and got some stops in some adverse conditions after a couple of turnovers this past Saturday. Special teams, we've got to get better. We had all new specialists at punter, kicker, place kicker, snapper, and return guys. And we are better than we performed. We averaged 36 yards a punt, and we're much better than that. We've been kicking the ball in and out of the end zone on kickoffs, and we didn't have any that were touchbacks out of the 3 that we kicked this past week. We're better than that. And then we had a freshman place kicker have an alignment mistake on the blocked field goal. We'll get all that corrected, and hopefully they'll settle down and perform much better for us in coming weeks. It just takes time getting those guys some experience. Overall, I was very pleased with the efforts of our football team. Obviously, to avenge the 38-10 loss with a victory at home was big. We had a tremendous crowd that really had an impact in the success of our football team this past Saturday night. Turning our attention to Oklahoma State, we didn't have an opportunity to celebrate too much as our players came in Sunday and began watching the Army game and also keying in on Oklahoma State. Very good football team. One of the most talented football teams that we've played since we've been at Arkansas State. Size and speed, they have great recovery speed defensively. You can block them and they still have an opportunity to make plays because they have tremendous speed. Last week was like a special teams highlight reel, a year's worth of highlights for Oklahoma State. They returned a kickoff for a 96-yard touchdown. They averaged 26 yards per punt return. They averaged 53 yards per punt, and also kicked a 53-yard field goal. So we have our work cut out for us trying to maintain any balance of field position, much less the scoreboard in the kicking game. I feel like Bobby Reed, their quarterback, is a much improved player over when we saw him at this time last year. That was his first start for Oklahoma State. He has settled down tremendously and is playing with a lot more confidence. Has some huge wide receivers to throw the football to, 6'4", 6'5" guys that even when you have position on them can go up and make plays. The running back had 160 yards rushing last week. Just a very complete offense at this point. Defensively, again, just great size and speed. They should throw a lot of different looks at you. They blitzed 48 times last Saturday on defense. So they're going to come after you and throw a lot of different looks at you. And obviously our protection game has been an issue this week. We will not see the same blitz over and over and over. We'll see different things at different times. It's hard to get a handle on where they're coming from because they'll bring anybody and everybody during different times of the game. But have a tremendous challenge for us this week. Hopefully we will continue to compete at the level we have the last few games. And don't know about our chances, but I know we're going to play hard and give us every opportunity to be in the game because of our effort. Hoping for a tremendous crowd here in Little Rock. Interestingly enough, I was asked yesterday by a reporter from Oklahoma if we would have more fans there than Oklahoma State does, and certainly anticipating having a lot more fans than Oklahoma State does. Any questions? Yes, Doc.
Yeah, Coach, you talked in the past about the importance of overall team speed, not just to the skill positions and so forth. Has that always been an important component of your philosophy, or are we seeing football sort of changing now where you kind of trade size for speed in this day and age?
No, speed is an issue, and obviously the more size you can get with that speed, the better off you're going to be. And you look at Oklahoma State, and they've been able to do that with the big, tall receivers that can still really run, defensive linemen that are 6'5", 300 pounds that can really run. But speed has always been an issue for us, offensively and defensively.
Coach, you mentioned in the offseason about the perception had changed a little about ASU football since you had some success last year. Can you feel that in the crowd support and the fact that each win, say an Army, potentially Oklahoma State, will keep changing?
We certainly hope it'll continue to grow and get better. And again, from December of 2002, the only thing that I've guaranteed is that we're going to work very hard to make sure the fans are proud to support our football team. And we are still very much a work in progress. The best is still yet to come for our football program in all areas, academically, in our image that we produce, and in the way that we win football games. I think that we're seeing glimpses of where we have an opportunity to be in a few years.
Do you get a true read off of OSU based on the fact they play a 1AA team? Do you feel like you get an honest appraisal of what they did on what they're capable of doing?
Well, yeah, we get an honest appraisal because it was 52-0 before Missouri State even got on the board, and it could have been much worse than that. Oklahoma State continued to run their offense, throwing the football late in the fourth quarter and that type of stuff, but they weren't doing it with Bobby Reed and Woods and Hamilton and all those guys. They got a break in pretty much the whole second half. But they made some big plays last week. In the kicking game, they made some big plays running the football and throwing the football. Got some key turnovers. Got some hits on the quarterback last week. So we got to see enough to know that we will have a tremendous challenge on our hands to win this football game.
Can you update us? Will Levi be able to go on Saturday? And who might take his place in the rotation?
Levi will not play this Saturday. He does not have a season-ending injury, so we won't comment on the status of his injury, but he will not play. Joe Smith will start in his place, which is fitting. They're both from Bastrop, Louisiana, and best friends for life. I say Joe Smith will start. We list 2 receivers to start, Patrick Higgins and Joe Smith. We could very well start 4 receivers, just depends on the huddle call and the personnel call the first play of the game, where we get the ball and that type of stuff.
Talk about the benefits of playing in Little Rock for recruiting and some of these Central Arkansas kids and South Arkansas that sometimes their families or friends don't get to see play.
Well, I think it's awesome for us. We love playing in Indian Stadium. We love playing in Jonesboro. We've had tremendous success there. The next best place for us to play is in Little Rock, Arkansas. We're excited about being here. It does allow us an opportunity to expose our program to people that may be on the fringe of deciding where they want to be an Arkansas State fan or not. So that does provide us with that opportunity. There will be a lot of people that I know will come from Rising and El Dorado and Junction City and Texarkana and places that, you know, maybe it's just their immediate family or their closest friends that come to Jonesboro, and now there'll be a whole lot more people coming to watch them play. It's been interesting just listening to our kids talking about getting tickets because they get their 4 comp tickets and they can trade off with friends, and they're trading tickets for this game, for that game, trying to get more people here from their hometown. So it does give us a chance to get some added exposure throughout the state of Arkansas.
Do you guys just travel on game day, Coach, treat it as much like a home game as possible, or do you stay the night? What's your routine like?
Almost. You said both of them there. We're going to treat it as much like a home game as we possibly can. Meaning we're going to practice Friday in Indian Stadium. We're going to have our regular special teams meetings and our regular special teams meeting rooms. All of those things will stay the same. We will eat just like we always eat for a home game. That's where the similarity sort of ends. We normally go watch a movie, then go to the hotel in Jonesboro. We're going to watch our movie on the bus coming here to the hotel. So nothing has really changed as far as the routine is concerned. Other than we'll be in a different hotel and watching a movie at a different place. Any other questions? Thank y'all. Y'all hang around and eat. Love to show you some video.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Again, thank you to all the media members. Appreciate you guys coming out today.